Stefania, you have been a leader in education through many different roles, from higher education, as a Minister of Education, and now leading the education program at UNESCO. What inspired you as a young girl to aim to be a leader in education like you have been?
I always had this inclination to improve, to go ahead, to look for challenges since I was a little kid. I don't think that I was inspired by somebody in particular, but I was very much inspired by my teachers throughout the pathway from high school. I attended a very high-level high school, and I fell in love with learning, actually. And this was the first strong motivation to commit, right? To have an academic career first, and then from academia to politics, it's about looking for social impact of what you are doing, to contribute to change. This was always a little bit my driver, let's say. And then I think that we are a little bit born to be the coordinator of a group, right? To lead the group for something. And I think that the combination of these two dimensions, right? What you are by nature, by talent, let's say, and what you see around. The question that if you have a position of responsibility, you also have the power to decide. And if you have the power to decide, you have the possibility to change. And this was clear to me, you know, scaling down and scaling up according to different situations and steps in life since the very beginning.
So there is quite a long-standing debate about whether or not there's a difference between the different ways that men and women lead. I'd be very interested to hear, given your career, what your opinion is on that.
I don't think there is a big difference at individual level. I met tough, rude women in leadership position. I met kind, inclusive men in the same context. When you look at the accumulation of and tradition of power and responsibility in society, and men obviously got power very much more and very much longer with less attrition, let's say, in the history of humankind, then you can say that as an average, it's absolutely a different touch. So women leadership is more about caring of people, is more people-oriented, is more results-oriented, and men, the kind of man leadership, the prototype, so to say, is very much more, let's say, self empowerment and looking for, their own position of power and increasing this status. So for that reason, I think that more women at the highest level of leadership would really benefit a lot this troubled world.
So the evidence shows what you're saying. There's the new gender edition of the UNESCO GEM report just out, shows that only 1 in 4 ministers of education and higher education have been female in the last 13 years.
Interesting.
As one of those, I'd be interested, what were the hoops that you feel maybe that you had to jump through in order to become a female leader in education?
Day by day you have to demonstrate what you actually are, that you are well prepared, that you have talent, that you are good when it comes to political experience in negotiation, that you are strong but not too much, that you are, impactful, results-oriented, and all of this is not exactly the same for men. Honestly, I don't remember, I never saw a colleague, Minister of Education, but also in politics, other positions in the government, to come to a conference, a meeting, and not being very much well prepared on the file we are discussing. I saw many times colleagues, men, doing like this and coming, taking for granted that as they are ministers, it doesn't matter which kind of knowledge they have behind. So it's a continuous effort, and there is a continuous demand from the context around you of demonstrating that you are there because you are good, because you deserve. And this is not a bit unfair, let's say.
And do you think that because you're often finding yourself in a room full of men, that means that you've had to adapt the way that you lead, the way that you project yourself as a woman?
I didn't, honestly. I'm proud and aware that I always brought up my personality, my attitude to deal with people, whatever the role I had. Since the very beginning of my academic career, I was as lucky as good to get a position of professor when I was very young. So I think that this very good start of my career on one side and my personality on the other side was the perfect combination to make me free to be myself always. But if you ask me once again what I see around, usually what I saw in my career through, I think that there is a, let me put it like this, there is an expectation that women do behave as women, even if women in power, right? Unless you are really on the top of the hierarchy. That's a different status. I never, not yet, experienced. If I'm prime minister, you're president of a country, so that's another maybe status. But if you have, if you are, a peer among peers, even at the highest level position as a member of a government or whatever, it's a different approach from the community.
So the new report recommends that there should be better gender equality in education leadership.
I do agree.
And if there was
not
better,
only in education, by the way.
Not only, this is true. And if there was better gender equality in education leadership, what benefits do you think that would bring?
It would be natural to think of a healthier working environment, very well better balanced systems of power and decision making, more transparent processes put in place. So transparency, accountability, culture of care. I insist on this point because as a woman I think that the culture of caring for people, whoever the level of the hierarchy and the position they have, is quite defining, the difference between men and women in power. So all of these would really make a huge difference.
And then lastly, one last question is, if you had a message for a young person who might be listening today who's aspiring to be a leader like you, be they a boy or a girl.
Yeah, sure. I'm a mother of 2 boys, okay. But I can simply say what I frequently said to my two children now, young men. The importance is to be yourself. Of course, I know that it takes, confidence, self-confidence, and it takes working on your personality. It doesn't come from scratch. It's a process, but I think that being yourself, whatever the context, whatever the environment, and it's about affirming and reaffirming your values, what you are motivated by in your mission. It's about also looking for happiness, which is a human right. I think we have to really try to unlock our potential, right? As a person, I'm a positive, optimistic person, and I think that trying to keep this natural inclination always is the most important issue.
Thank you.
Thank you.